Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, you're super duper welcome. I mean, even old subscribers are telling you welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, we are super excited that you're joining us, and we are so excited because in this channel we teach everything about your relationship. You having a healthy relationship is a priority to us, and I'm sure you'll be learning a whole lot from this video. So do ensure that you stay to the end of this video because you will be learning a lot. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the 5 stages that every relationship actually goes through. Like, this is something we don't want to think about as human being or as a relationship. We want to just enjoy the butterflies that comes with the relationship. I mean, the honeymoon phase, the phase where you're taking ice cream, going out for cinemas, going out for dinner night. That is just the only stage that we often like and we want to be in forever. But since life is not like that, life is always up and down. That same thing goes for relationship. It comes up, it goes down, and we would definitely have different stages because life is an up and down thing. And so the same thing goes by for our relationship, because who is even making life go that way? It is you, and then now you have another person joining you in relationship. So there's always a lot of ups and downs in relationship. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you the 5 stages that a relationship actually goes through. So my name is TemyNna, and let's dive into today's video. The first thing we'll be talking about, the first stage that we'll be talking about that every relationship go through. This is not even about maybe we did not start that way. No, the first stage we'll be talking about is the romance stage. This is the affection stage. This is that stage where everything that draws you to the person is just the butterflies in your belly, the beauty, the attraction you get from them. This is just what attracted to the relationship. But it is very certain that as time goes by, this will not be forever. Like, you won't be going to dinner night every night. Yes, you won't even have old stories to say every day. Unlike the new phase, we're in that romance stage where you will begin to talk about your past, your ex, the things you like, the school you went to, the church you went to. Just talking about things that just make the other person to like you, expressing how you enjoy some season, how you do not enjoy some season. It's just basically a season where you're learning about one another, exploring about one another, falling in love, trying to understand them, trying to get to know them better. This is the romance stage, and this is one of the beautiful stage of relationship. It is just that stage that decides if a relationship will start. Because if somebody is asking you out and you don't have any feelings for them, you don't desire them, you don't want anything to do with them, that means you won't be agreeing to the relationship at all. But the fact that you have a feeling for them, you have these butterflies in your belly, you like the way they dress, you like the way they talk, you like their goals, you like their purpose. You just like the way they do their things. Probably they are an influencer, you just like their life. Probably they are the quiet type of person. You like everything about them. Yes. And this is what began the relationship. This is the first stage of every relationship. That starting point for your relationship. That thing that started the relationship. How it started. Yes. That's the romance phase. But we all agree that life doesn't go that way. So it will remain there. That may last for like about 6 months, 1 year of getting to know yourself in the relationship. After then, you begin to notice there's a shift in the relationship. Like, it doesn't even, like, it's not something you would sit down and say we want to change stage, we want to change position. The transitioning just begin to happen gradually. You already know the school they went to, you already know their favorite color, you already know their favorite clothes, you already know their favorite food. Like, these are just basic things that within 6 months to 1 year you already know all of these things. And this is what the romance phase is built on, where you're trying to get their favorite color, and then you begin to text them to ask them what color do you like the most, and they say they like color yellow, and you're trying to gift them a gift that is wrapped with yellow just to express love to them. That mushy part of love. Yeah, that is the first stage. And the second stage we'll be talking about is the uncertainty stage. Yes, that stage where you are uncertain. You're thinking that, is this what I really want? Like, this is a stage where reality sets in. This is a stage where reality sets in. It's that stage where you begin to think about it that he often gets angry. Are you sure I want somebody that get angry as much as this? is too quiet for my liking. Are you sure I want someone that is this quiet? At the early phase, I like the fact that I was quiet and I will be the one to ask her the question and he would respond. But I think I want more at this phase. The other person is not very active and you're thinking about it, that is this really what I want? I mean, this is the uncertainty phase where you're thinking about it, that do I still want to be in a relationship with this person? Well, in my last video I talked about the signs you should see to stay in a relationship and the things you need to know before you walk away from a relationship, like how to know that it is right time to walk away from the relationship. You can just go watch it when you're done watching this video. I explained that in depth, so that shouldn't be an issue. But let's talk about the uncertainty. This is that phase of relationship where you are very uncertain about the relationship. You're thinking about it because now you're beginning to see their flaws, you're beginning to see their mistakes, you're beginning to see their incompatibility with you, how they like one particular thing. Truly, they told you they like ice cream, but at this point you're feeling, why would you like ice cream? Like it just become a stage where you begin to become inquisitive about everything. You're like, why would you like ice cream? No, why would it be ice cream that you like, not yogurt? I prefer yogurt. And the fact that they like ice cream, they would buy it often, they would present it to you. It becomes nauseating that why would it be ice cream that you like and it is not yogurt? I mean, this is that stage where you think about it, you're thinking about the relationship, not like the way you used to at the early phase. Because at the early phase, that romance stage, you think about the relationship, and each time you think about it, even without the person close to you, you begin to smile because there's this joy that comes from your heart. But when you get to this uncertainty stage, this is that stage where you begin to brood a lot. You brood a lot, like you brood a lot, and you're thinking about it, that is this what I want? Is our purpose aligning? He said he wants to travel. Initially, I like somebody that travel, but this traveling process is encompassing and taking up his time and his day, and is that really what you want? And this is that second stage of the relationship. Most times it is as this phase of relationship that most relationship breaks up. Yeah, after they've stayed for about 6 months, 1 year, and a year plus, they begin to find it unfriendly again, very difficult to cope because they are now doing a lot of analyzing, which they never did at the early phase. They are now calculating, all my money, I use it in spending on this person. Do I want to keep doing this all the days of my life? I spend quality time with this person. Do I want to keep doing it all the days of my life? I think I want a life outside of this person. How do I get that extra space, extra time? And now do I get 1 or 2 things for myself? And at this point, you're beginning to think and analyze. Yeah, this is just the uncertainty phase. The third stage we'll be talking about is the adjustment stage. When you've come to that uncertainty stage, one thing that will determine if the relationship will keep moving on is that you're consciously deciding that, okay, I saw this particular flaw, but I want to adjust. So the third stage we'll be talking about is adjustment stage. I mean, that place where you can literally see the other person, the flaws, the good things they do in excess, because sometimes they are good things but they do it in excess and it's becoming nauseating to you now. The fact that they call all the time, like at the early stage it was interesting for you that they call and you were uncertain if it is really what you want, but the fact that this relationship needs to keep moving is why you need to get to that adjustment phase where you begin to find middle ground for the relationship to work. You just begin to find middle ground. You begin to say, okay, if they call this time around, I can drop a text rather than picking the call. What's the text going to say? I'm currently busy. Like, it doesn't have to be like me picking the call and being lost up and not being able to occupy my day because I received the call. I was planning to do things, like I had chores I wanted to do, I had things I wanted to accomplish for the day, but because I picked up a call, I got carried away. I was making the call for hours and in the long run I couldn't even achieve as much as I want to achieve during the day. Like, you're just thinking of how so much the relationship is affecting you, how it is affecting your growth, how it is affecting your mental health, how it is occupying and not giving you space to breathe. And at this phase, all you need to do is adjust. Think about it. Okay, what about if I send a text right now that I'm busy, and then when I'm done, maybe probably 2 hours, 4 hours, or later in the day, I can easily pick up call and call them, and we could talk a whole long, like for long hours, probably 3-4 hours, just to bond with the relationship. This will help you to be able to accomplish a lot for yourself, and at the same time, also find a middle ground for the relationship to thrive. while you're still finding purpose in you, and then you're still making the relationship as smooth as it should be. The fourth phase that we'll be talking about is the commitment phase. Many relationships don't actually get to this phase. Like, this is a phase that many relationships don't get to. Many relationships will just be in the romance phase, and when it begins to shift from romance to uncertainty, many relationships begin to find it very difficult. They're like, this is not who I met, this is not who he has changed, he no longer talks to me the way he does before. When it gets to adjustment phase, like, the other person can't even cope with you adjusting, because when you're beginning to tell them that I gave a whole lot of time to build the relationship, but this time I just want a little retrace back so that I can do one or two things, accomplish one or two things in terms of life and purpose, and you're trying to get things to adjustment place, but many relationships will always fall apart at this stage, because the other person will like, if you can't give me time as much as you used to do before, if you can't be there for me, give me the finance, give me the support like I used to get from you before, then I don't think I want the relationship again. But one thing I want you to notice that if you can stay with a healthy relationship in an adjustment phase, because who determines if a relationship will work? It's just two of you. Yeah, it is two of you who will determine if the relationship would work, and there's no point in moving out, because even when you move out, you enter into another relationship. I'm not talking about a toxic relationship right now. I'm talking about a healthy relationship. Probably the other person is just trying to chase purpose. The other person is just trying to analyze and figure things out for their self. They're just trying to make things to work out for you both, and it looks a little bit hard and rough because you're not getting as much attention, as much attraction, as much romance, as much of love that you used to get before. I would say if it is a healthy relationship, just hang on a little while they try to sort out things, and you people keep communicating how to make sure there's a middle ground where you still find purpose, you still feel fulfilled that you're in a relationship, and they also feel fulfilled as a person. And this is where the adjustment comes in. But when it comes to commitment, that means you've adjusted, you've both agreed that you would make this relationship work, you will put in the right effort, because relationship requires two people who will put in, 100% efforts. 100% effort, and you can't say because the other person is slacking a little, then you will take up your own effort and you won't give to it. It won't take time before the relationship will crumble. Even a sweet relationship that looks like heaven ordained, you will see it crumbling and all of that. So you need to make up your mind that at this phase, I want to be committed to this relationship. I know this person is going through one or two things. They're trying to build one or two things for their self. They're trying to sort one or two things out, but I choose to be committed to this relationship. And I would also say this, that note, when you're choosing to be committed to a relationship, ensure that it is a relationship that is heading somewhere. What's the person saying? Hope it's not like as if they've left the relationship and that's why you have to feel and do extra work in trying to commit to the relationship. So ensure that both of you are still on the same page and you are both committed to the relationship. With this, you will be surprised that relationship can actually work, because I feel that relationship on its own is already very hard. Like I used to, me and my husband used to say that life is already very hard, and to make it complicated in a relationship, because people go through difficult seasons, difficult phases in their life, and this is just the truth of it. There are phases and there are stages in our lives, and it affects our relationship as well, and we need to know how to be able to accommodate it, work with it, look for middle ground, find adjustments, and be committed to the relationship in the midst of it. Like, if you're committed to a relationship, even if your job is demanding, you can give some little part of your night, the time you ought to use in sleeping during the night, you can give it out just to bond and make sure your relationship is working. If you are doing things with your finance that is taking up your finance, you can still squeeze out one of your transport or something, or your data. You just look for a way to work on things just to ensure that both parties are putting in effort, they are committed, they are ensuring that that relationship is working. Relationship is already very hard, like I told you earlier on, and you need to be very deliberate to make it easy on your partner. The fifth stage we'll be talking about is the acceptance stage. This is the stage where you've accepted that this is the relationship for me. Like, Acceptance phase means that you've gotten to that stage where you now see the person like a family. And you know what it looks like when, okay, let's give it an instance of a mother and a child. No matter what a child does, no matter how a child does things, you've come to realize that you want, this is your child, and you don't have anything, you don't have any other option than to love the child and to be with the child and to support the child. And when your relationship gets to that phase, when you begin to see your partner as, like, I mean, a part of your life, a part of everything that you own and you stand for, it helps you to be much more committed. I mean, that phase, you've accepted them, that I love them. Like, I know this is not too good this season. I know they are making some decisions that are not too okay, but I've accepted to be in a relationship with them. And one thing you need to notice that stages of relationship, they shift from time to time. There are stages where even after 5 years, you will just enter a stage where you will just be enjoying the romance stage again. Like, I mean, things will just become easy. You're just trying to explore life. You're going from one vacation to another. I mean, even at 5 years of relationship, you're going from one vacation to another. You're exploring the world, exploring one another. And you might just be surprised that the 6th year of the relationship, you'll be entering another stage where you need to be committed to the relationship because the other person is doing one thing or the other. Or you might enter another stage where you feel uncertain even at the 70, and you're like, are you sure I really chose the right person for me? Because of whatever might be happening currently in the relationship, what life throws at you or the other person, or what life throws at your relationship in a whole. Like, I mean, life generally happen. People get sick, people lose their job. Life on its own just happen. And this is why we need to make up our mind that we need to get to that phase where we accept the other person for who they are and we appreciate every of their effort for the relationship. When you get to that phase, it becomes very easy. I mean, very simplified, because at this point you're no longer thinking of exits. You're no longer thinking of how do you end the relationship. You're no longer thinking of, so how do I find another relationship? You're thinking of, how do I make this work? And there's one thing that is certain: when there's a will, there's a way. If both of you are actually willing to make the relationship work, it will definitely work. Like, I mean, it will work. Because who make it to start working at the early phase? Both of you started it. And if you're still determined to make it work, it will definitely work. Like, it will work. And this is the best stage that a relationship can be. And like I told you, that stages in relationship, they change based on life circumstances, things we decide to make, decisions we make, and our actions actually decide the stages of relationship. But no matter the stage you're currently in right now, you might be like, I'm just in that stage where I'm wondering if I made the right decision. Stay there a little, hang on a little. You will just find the capacity to be able to be committed to them. You will just find the capacity to be able to adjust for them. You will find a place to be able to accept them and accept the relationship. I mean, if it is not a toxic one, you can literally see that the other person is putting in effort. Because I'm so big on being against a relationship that is toxic, where you are the only one making the relationship work. No, ensure that it is both of you who is making it work. And sometimes it might shift to you that the other person doesn't even have the strength to make the relationship work, because relationships sometimes happen to be 70, 100, 30, 100. Like, I mean, 100% of the other person's efforts, while the other person is giving just 70, because they don't have the capacity. So one thing I want you to put in mind is, are you giving your best to that relationship? Are you imputing your best to that relationship? Do you really want it to be that heaven on earth you desire? And how are you making it to be it? What efforts are you putting deliberately? Deliberately. Because if you leave it to be by chance, then many things would never be done. So you need to be very deliberate with your actions, your thoughts, your words, and everything you do. And you will be able to enjoy every of the stages that relationship throws at you. And your relationship, like, life brings the stages, and once you're prepared for it, you're not just prepared for the romance phase where everything is just smooth and smooth. No, life is a roller coaster on its own, and being prepared for it is what makes you to be able to shoulder the stages when they come, to be able to stay, sometimes even knowing that every of these stages are a reality, you discuss ahead of it, you talk about it, you plan ahead of it, and you're well prepared for it. It strengthens you, it makes you to be able to overcome every of this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sure you learned a thing or two. My name is TemyNna, and the best way you can tell me that you actually gained something meaningful from this video is to drop a comment for me below. Yes, I'll be in the comment section to keep this conversation rolling, talking about the stage that your relationship is currently in right now. Yes, I'll be in the comment section to hear it. I'll be so excited to be a part of your relationship and the stage you are currently, and for others to learn from how you were able to cope with every stages that you have currently been in, or that you've gone through, or that you are preparing for, because sometimes you prepare for the stage in the next stage of your relationship. You are just aware that this next phase, this is what we'll be going through. Yes, how were you able to prepare for the next stage, and how were you able to overcome or manage your current stages? Yes, this is the best thing you can do for us. Drop a comment telling us how you're able to navigate the stages of relationship, and don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe. Yes, so that you can get beautiful content like this from me when I post one, and you'll be the first to be notified when I upload beautiful content like this. So until next time, bye.